So in the right nav, what we can do? So let's see. In the right nav, we have find store, sign in, and join now button. So let's say come to our index.html and type here. I think there are two lists. So if I come here, okay, we don't have any list. We have just find a store and sign in and join now. So for find store, what we can do, we have a image and some text. So we can create a container for this in the right nav. So container will name will be find store. Okay. In the find store, we have image section. So let's copy image from the resources. So come here and open the resources folder. I provide all these things to you. So we have this locate image which we use in the find store. So in the image section, copy this. Okay. Now source will be assets image locate, and in the alternate we can provide find store. Okay, and we need to provide this a text also. So after image we have some text. So text will be, let's say, span tag, and here we will say find store. Nice. So let's see how it's look. So this comes um, below the header. So to fix this, open inspector and dev tools, whatever you call this, and select this find store. And now since this find store tag, let's say find store tag comes in the right nav, all right, and right nav comes in the uh, header container. So we should have display flags in our header container. So type here display flags. Okay, so as you can see, this comes here, and in this header container we have only two sections, the left nav and the right nav. So for right nav, let's provide a width. So width will be, let's say, 50%. So now right nav is, as you can see here, and left nav is this one. Okay, so let's say move this image to little bit of right. So come to our find store section, and let's move this whole element with the find store to a little bit of right. So here we can provide margin left, margin left 3%. Okay, I think 20% will be best, and later on we can move these headings to little bit of left. So 20%, and here we have this image and find store. So for find store we can change this color. So font color will be, actually after all, we are going to change this background color. So font color of black will be perfect. We don't need to change this color. We can change size. So font size will be, let's say, I think extra large will be okay. So we have choose extra large and we need to make it in the center. So in the find store, let's say align item center, and we need to use display flex to make this align item work. Display flex. Okay, so this is working perfectly, and we can provide some margin to this. Actually, we don't need to provide because it will not look that good after providing margin. So we have done this. Now copy all these to our uh, CSS file. Now we have added all this. Now let's see if it's look the same or not. Okay, it's look same, and all right. So we need join now and sign in section also. So add this also. So here we after find store in the right name we can type, let's say, div dot and authentication. Let's say authentication. Okay. So in authentication we have join now. So two buttons basically, join span, join now, and after that we have sign in. Sign in. Okay, save this. Alright, so this has come into below this. So open our inspector and quickly refresh this, and now select this element of image. So in the authentication we have uh, join now, so these are coming below, so we have to fix this. So authentication comes in the right nav, so we have to make the right nav to display flex so that it makes find store and authentication appear side by side. So display flex. So as you can see, this has appeared in this side. Now come to authentication, and let's firstly we need to know how much border it's taking. So let's increase this border. So let's say border, this is just for testing, so 2 pixel solid. Okay, so this is the width that joining and authentication section is taking. So increase this width, so the width will be 34%, I think will be very high. Now what we can do, let's say we need to make this appear also by side, so in the authentication section we need to make it display flex. Okay, and now if I increase this width. Okay. So in authentication section, we have a property called, let's say, go to first our right nav, and in the right nav we have this. If you click on this flex section, this icon, you will have something like let's say space between. Okay, I don't know why it's not working. Let's see. Okay, so as you can see, the width of right section is basically very low right now. So we have to provide this width also. So width will be 50% of its parent element. Okay, so width has been set, and now if I come to our uh, if I remove this space between, okay, no change. Actually, there is no change because uh, this already have a lot of space, very little spacing between them. So we need to make the firstly we will fix this. So come here and in the find store we have authentication, and in flex we can say okay, so it is space between. What are other properties we have? Okay, fine. So we have changed this to space between, and let's say let's remove this align item center. Okay, so vertically we have aligned this to center. Now increase the font size also. So font size will be 54 pixel. Okay, reduce this. All right. So 25 pixel is the font size, and in the span tag we can provide this a border. So border will be 2 pixel solid black, and border radius will be so that the corner appears to be rounded. So border radius, let's say that will be 25 pixel. Okay, perfect. Now we will implement this same style over our currently we have this in sign in join in now button, and we will add this to the sign in section also. Let's say copy copy all declaration, and in the sign in section. Okay, so as you can see this has been changed. Now there is very high spacing. I think we should not use this space between. So close this space between, and we can use margin and padding. So margin left, let's say margin left 1%. We make this to 12%, and in where is our span tag? In the span tag in join in section, margin right. So let's say margin right will be to 2%. Okay, so accidentally I select margin right okay, it's accidentally. Not increasing. So let's see what's the let's make this margin left, and I think 10 pixel is enough for this sign in button. Now let's see this width width of this authentication. So width is 35%, so let's increase this a little bit, and we need to align this to the center of this. So to make it horizontally center, we will use justify content center. Okay, I think that's look perfect. Now if you see this find store, so uh, I want this to come in single line. So come here, select this one, and let's change the container size. I think that will make this to come in single line. So this is basically margin. Why we have not provided width to this section? Width will be, let's say, 34%. Okay, now it's not changing any width. Okay, we have to find some another way. So let's leave this to 35%, and in the find store we can use display flex. That's the only way. And flex direction will be so. Why again this don't come to the center? Let's remove this. I think I have to change this size of this font so that it can come to the center. So font size will be 23%. Increase this now. Okay, it's 117%. And now let's increase the weight of this font. The font weight will be font weight, say, if I think bolder, the bolder is perfect. All right. Now we have to do some line spacing. So firstly reduce the size, and okay, now this is fine. So I currently we are unable to fix this. Let's say we have some border. So let's give this a width. So width will be 13% of its find store container. So now increase this width and give it a border of 2 pixel solid. All right. Now we will increase this width. So 48. Again, we have error in increasing this width to its max. Okay, so basically the error was I have not provided a width to this image section. So if you see this find store, so it have 35% length of its parent container. So if it got 35%, and in this 35%, The image section is using all the length. If I exclude this uh, width of this container, so if I increase this more, it can't increase this because around more, I think it increased to the 40%. All right, let's see how much it increased. Okay, so it increased to only 40%, so it means that 60% is taken by this element, image element. So we have to limit this, limit the width taken by this element. So we provide this width of 30%, and now we can use 70 remaining 70% length in this span tag. So now I can increase the width of this up to 70%. Okay. So now we have this 70% length. Now we can increase the font size more. Font size will be, okay, 150% I think is best for now. Later on we will change the font family, and after changing the font family the look will completely change, and also we need to change this background after designing some main section. So there is a lot of things to do, but for now let's leave this remain as it is, and let's copy all this to our uh, CSS file. Okay, I have pasted all these mm, attribute properties to this CSS file. Now let's see how this look. If I refresh this, okay, this look uh, exactly the way we want, but there is no margin here. So actually margin have problem. Like if you see, if I type here margin left, and that will be, let's say, 10 pixel. Now if I save this, so margin left goes in this one also. I want the margin only in sign in button, margin left. Okay, so we have to do something so that margin is applied only to the sign in button. Okay, so let's provide a class to this sign in button. So span class will be sign in. And now come to our header.css, remove this. One second. In this span we have a class called sign in, and cut this from here and paste this here. It still doesn't change. Let's see what's the problem. In the span tag we have a class called sign in, and everything it seems okay. But why this is not working? Let's inspect this element or refresh this. Why it not showing me margin left? But I have already applied margin left. Margin left 10 pixel. Okay, let's reduce this 8 pixel. But I have applied the same property here, but Why this doesn't showing me? I think I have choose some wrong selector. Authentication, span. Okay, if I save this, all right. So I don't need to add span here because if I add span, then it goes into the span tag, whatever it find, and search class inside the span tag. But we have class in all in outside of the span tag. Okay, so it's not outside, but this is inline class. But the selector we do search inside the elements in this sign in tag. Okay, so that why it was not selecting. So now this has been selected and it's look perfect. Save this, close this, refresh this. Okay, so let's first um, reduce this size. So this will be 7 pixel. All right. So we have designed the header. Currently this is not looking perfect, but we will do some changes after we have something to show here. So we will change everything to basically we will maintain a color theme. So whatever we will decide a color theme, we will put that in the header section, right? So for this video, this I think this is enough, and in the next video, I will show you how you can add main section and after that footer section. Okay, so you will get the link on the GitHub to this code. So thank you for watching the video and see you in the next video.